Alright guys, so here's the next lesson we're doing in our unit on measurement. We are going to compare lengths. Our objective is I can tell how much longer one object is than another. So what that means is you're going to look at different lines. In this lesson we're going to use lines as our example, and we're going to figure out which one is longer than the other. And it might look simple, but when you get a ruler out, your answers might surprise you. Okay, so our friend's telling us circle two paths and estimate which one is longer. How can you check if your estimate is correct? So remember what we talked about when we did estimates in the last lesson. You would get an object that represents 1 centimeter in this case. We're going to use 1 centimeter. Line it up end to end, right? No gaps. And if that object is 1 centimeter long, however many times the object fills up the line will be the length of the line. Okay. We will take care of solve and share if you come to the Zoom lesson. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the visual learning boxes at the top. Let's look at the visual learning boxes at the top of page 736. Okay, so our friend's asking which path is longer and how much longer is it? And we're going to use centimeters for this lesson. So think about both parts of the path when you estimate and measure. So see how there's one section right here of this line, and then there's another section right there. You will need to measure both to find the total length. Okay? So the estimate is about 5 for blue and 6 centimeters for red. One part of the blue path is about 2 centimeters. So only one section of that line is about 2 centimeters. The other part is also about 2 centimeters. And you would add them both together to find the length, which means the blue path is about 4 centimeters long. So they said that this was about 2, and that side was about 2. And adding them both legs together said it was about 4 centimeters. Now on the red path, this section here, that little tail, is only about 1 centimeter. And the longer part sticking straight up was 4 centimeters. You can tell because of the ruler that they put next to it. And so those two sections added together are 5 centimeters. Then you would subtract the two lengths that we found, you would subtract blue from red to find the difference. And the red path is about 1 centimeter longer than the blue path. So how can you find the length of a path that is not straight? What would you do if you're not measuring a straight line, you're measuring something with a bend? Well, you would first measure one section of it. Let's look at path A. First, you would measure one section here, then you would measure the other section here, and add the two sections together. And that's how you would measure something that's not a straight line. The extra challenge I want to ask you is, would a path that has 3 parts always be longer than a path with 2 parts? Let's say there was an extra section here to that line. Now, would path A always be longer than path B that has 2 parts? No, not always, because sometimes just because there's 3 parts to it, it could be a little tiny short part. And so even though there's more parts, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to add up to a longer amount. Okay, so you're going to estimate the length of each path and then use a centimeter ruler to measure each path. So here are the tools you'll need. You'll need a centimeter ruler, and you'll need something to estimate with. That's why when we did lesson 12-5, I asked you to find an object or a toy that was about 1 centimeter long. This is where you're going to use it. Take that thing that you found that's 1 centimeter long and use it to measure the different sections of the lines that you're going to see in this lesson. So they're telling us that one part of path A is about 9 centimeters and another part is about 10. And I would guess, since the number 9 is smaller, that the 9 centimeter line is that one that's smaller, and then this line here, the longer line, would be the bigger measurement, 10 centimeters. Then what you're going to do is estimate with your object, your 1 centimeter object, estimate the length of the green line. Remember to estimate both parts and add them together. Then take your centimeter ruler and do the actual measurement of the green line. Then questions 3 and 4 want you to think about which path is longer, orange or green, and how much longer. And the way that you figure out how much longer it is to do what he tells us in the last box here, subtract the two lengths from one another, subtract the smaller length from the bigger length. And that'll tell you how much longer the longer length is. You're going to do the same thing for 5 and 6. And in 7 and 8, you're going to answer which path is longer, C or D, the yellow one or the purple one, and by how much is it longer. For 9 and 10, you're going to think about an object and circle the best estimate. So number 9 is a key. Does it make sense if a key would be 1 centimeter, 6 centimeters, or about 20 centimeters? Or a pen, is it about 2, 4, or 15 centimeters? And then you're going to work on problem solving, math practices and problem solving. Okay, we'll try out a couple of these exercises during the Zoom session. So if you're getting confused or you don't, there's a part of here that you don't understand, make sure you check into the Zoom session, and we'll talk about more about how to compare lengths. All right, goodbye.